So I've been making some wild discoveries. If you follow my archive YouTube channel, Donny Archive, you probably have noticed that I've been going through and digitizing some old VHS tapes that I found at my parents' house because I had like this vague memory, especially from like the late 90s and early 2000s, of my parents filming my brother and I, like filming our family events, etc. But I also had this vague memory of my brother and I doing a bunch of videos where we would like talk about the Godzilla comics that I was making. And I just to say, I have found those videos. I thought they were thrown away. They still work, and I have been in the process of digitizing them. And I am kind of blown away by how many videos I used to make when I was a very like late single digits, early teenager, and I found probably about, like, an hour's footage of me talking about Godzilla stuff. I remember I had, like, this old JVC camcorder that my parents had. I think they had that since, like, the mid-90s, and I would just, like, film us talking about Godzilla, and I wanted to just share a little segment with you, um, that way you can see that the obsession has an origin point 25 years ago.
Because I've got some things off the internet, and I just love Mothra. She's my favorite monster. I have everything in here. This is actually my Rebirth of Mothra 4 page before I did this one. Okay. Now, I love Godzilla. I've always had in my family history. I'm also a Star Trek fan, by the way.
Close up.
Oh, just a sec. I need a drink of grape juice. I mean, apple juice.
Close up.
Oh, that light's hurting my eyes.
Sorry.
It's just very fun to do these things. I mean, I love Godzilla.
Clearly, I loved Godzilla. And here we are now, 25 years later. I have a Godzilla podcast. I've written for a Godzilla comic. And I don't know. I watched that for the first time. I actually recorded a reaction video that I will be posting at some point on my on this channel for the reacting to old videos um series that I do. But I got really emotional when I watched that because I remember the sheer amount of fun that I had putting together some of my old Godzilla comics. I have most of them. Some of them are gone, but I do have most of them still. And I've shown some of them, I think, in some of my prior videos. But I guess I didn't realize that I documented that much even back then. And it's made me really appreciate um those moments, those moments where I was just enjoying Godzilla, like, at that young age and just not really, you know, having a worry in the world about literally anything, and and I don't know, I suppose that's kind of what led me to eventually doing vlogging in this. Like, I clearly had no problem being in front of a camera and blabbing about things that I loved, and voila, 25 years later, that still seems to be the case. So, next season of Growing Up With Godzilla, I will be doing an entire episode about this, where I do show the majority of the footage, and I will be kind of, like, commentating on it, discussing it, and I feel like those of you out there, if you have, like, any of this ancient footage of you showcasing your growing up with Godzilla, share it if you feel comfortable. Like, celebrate it. Like, mine, I'm not gonna lie, like, mine's cringy. And there would have been a time in my life where I would have been, like, really embarrassed to share anything like that. But now I'm kind of like, you know what? Damn it. I enjoy this. I enjoy Godzilla stuff. Younger me enjoyed it too, and younger me suffered with a lot of shame over it because, like I've mentioned in Growing Up With Godzilla, I used to be one of the only people who loved Godzilla, so people would often kind of make fun of me for it, and I felt very isolated. Well, now that that footage is there, that younger me, you're not alone anymore. Like, now you are surrounded by a crap ton of people who love Godzilla, and I don't know. I just felt that it was kind of poignant reflecting on that. And I guess as we near the holidays, I'm just getting very reflective. I literally found a video on my archive channel of me celebrating my 11th birthday. It was like right after Christmas. Family was it's just so it's so surreal seeing that ancient history from my life. So anyway, share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Click like for the algorithm, please. And thank you for listening. And tune in for the next season of Growing Up with Godzilla, which should be starting late January, early February 2025.